Marcus had already informed the board and his family that I would be his successor as president. As they journeyed apart, burdened by their own realities and issues, what happens to the two individuals who, together, established a kingdom and left a legacy of optimism and motivation? Marcus Lamb spilt shocking details about his personal life to his wife Joni Lamb. A growing din emerged from behind the scenes and fissures started to form, jeopardizing all their hard work. Could they have known the magnitude of the impending action that would alter the course of their lives irrevocably, even though all eyes were on them? Not everything you expect happens in this unexpected love story about loyalty, the last test of faith, and more. What was the catalyst that caused an unexpected shift? A shocking new piece of information has sparked discussions and raised eyebrows among Christians worldwide. A lot of people were confused and suspicious when Joni Lamb, the widow of the late Marcus Lamb, decided to marry Doug Weiss, a famous marriage counselor, only a few months after her husband's death. Dr. Doug Weiss has been such a blessing to me, my family, and Daystar since I married him, was her statement. Was it a spiritual decision or merely a knee-jerk reaction to loss and a chain of unfortunate events? Friends and family who had known Joni and Marcus for a long time saw their marriage as a testament to their love and faith. As a mother and a grandmother, I can tell you that this situation makes my heart hurt very much. They enchanted millions with their message of love, hope, and unity through the Daystar TV network, which they co-founded and grew into a massive empire. When the man who stood by your side suddenly departs, leaving an emptiness that cannot be filled, what are you to do? What happened next? Was Joni prepared? A few weeks had passed since the Lord had instructed her, pick a comment. Emails like, you enjoyed seeing your co-host with your husband, and so on are common. To respond to a note, he instructed, choose one. Upon seeing that it featured Doug, or at least something about him, Susie decided to leave. She walked away after that. She made a vague comment. Rumors circulated quickly regarding the date of her marriage to Doug Weiss. Their relationship was further clouded by the widespread belief that Doug had been seeing Joni prior to Marcus's death. What gave her the idea to tie the knot so soon after Marcus passed away? Was there more going on when she suddenly began dating a man who was still recovering from his own divorce? Or was she merely seeking a companion to spend time with? Those who were opposed to it were not bashful. Just a few months after Marcus passed away, Doug Weiss and Lisa, his wife of over 30 years, filed for a divorce. Their breakup shocked many in the church community who questioned whether he was actually practicing the principles he had preached for so long. I'll give you my life for 30 days straight. 100% carry out all of your instructions. If things don't improve in the next 30 days, I will end my life. Speculation regarding the nature of the relationship between Doug and Lisa persisted alongside the increasing volume of enquiries. Doug had long advocated for the restoration of marriages in public. If that was the case, why did he choose to divorce his wife so soon? The fact that he filed for a divorce barely 2 months after Marcus Lamb's death added further suspicion. Doug was seeking an exit strategy from a marriage that had become distant. Alternatively, was there another factor at play? When Doug continued to operate his marriage counseling center as usual without informing his clients or employees that his own marriage had ended, the split became even more contentious. He demanded exorbitant sums for therapy, despite the fact that his own marriage was in shambles. Even though many of his clients sought his advice on their own troubled marriages, he kept his private life a secret from them. Well, you should protect your marriage anyway, since we want a Christian marriage, yes? In order to accomplish that, you two should pray together daily. This is something we've covered previously. Posting your thoughts every day is the best way to do it. Be complimentary to one another. Just wanted to let you know that you're awesome. I tell you that every single day. My wife is here today and we're doing this. That will be done tonight. Last night it happened. Next night we'll get down to business. Critics claimed that Doug was deceiving his clients into believing that his marriage was ideal, when, in reality, it was experiencing difficulties behind closed doors. People who knew him best felt he could have helped those going through similar situations had he been more forthcoming about his own marital struggles. The story progressed, revealing more and more disturbing details. After their divorce, Doug made the unbelievable accusation that Lisa had abused him. Doug changed his mind about Lisa being a wonderful wife and mother after their divorce. He had been bragging about her for years. Did he finally admit the truth about his marriage, or had he been dishonest the whole time? Doug may have fabricated these allegations to make his split appear more reasonable to some, and we've done it for more than 30 years, he added. I treat my sweetheart the same way. My Joni is thriving. Yeah, make sure you go ahead and do that. What lays with me at night, I feel so safe. Sure, it's okay. Reason being, his heartbeat is audible. Yes, I pray with her. Just make sure to tell her nice things too. Well, that's nothing new for you. Yes, you do. You do that all the time. This is the type of thing you should be doing. Meeting regularly, having sex regularly, and keeping your finances in order. If you want your marriage to be healthy and happy, those are the things you must prioritize. Your desire to keep it secure is heightened by that. It's time to pray. Joni, do you have one more thing to say? I wanted to mention that you had a dream the other night where we were in school, returning to our studies. It was a pretty cool dream, you said, adding that it was a sign from the Lord that He is still teaching us. After Doug's divorce, things became even more complicated when he began dating Joni Lamb. Could this be a genuine link, or was it merely a bounce? Many people questioned whether Joni was acting impulsively due to her sadness and the decisions she was faced with in the aftermath of her loss. Had Doug exploited her emotions, or had their friendship simply developed? Jonathan Lamb, who is the son of Joni Lamb, publicly expressed his deep concerns regarding his mother's marriage to Doug. He claimed to have witnessed a transformation in his mother ever since she began dating Doug. He feared she was falling for a fast romance without thinking things through. After Marcus passed away, some even assumed that Jonathan believed Joni had been using Joni's vulnerability to his advantage. Two people falling in love wasn't the only thing happening. Two people's morals, honesty, and faith were front and center in the public eye. It seemed like Doug Weiss was acting in a way that contradicted all of his marriage advice from the decades he had spent giving it. After hearing him preach about his principles in therapy, many started to question whether he was actually practicing them. Could his counsel have been an attempt to profit from the suffering of others, or did he genuinely believe in marriage as a permanent union? After the dust settled, the tale of Joni Lamb and Doug Weiss became about more than just them. An important lesson about the consequences of acting impulsively when upset and the significance of remaining true to one's principles emerged from it. Some took it as a sign that even the most beloved and influential people can't guarantee their own safety. Some took it as a sign that the challenges of love, faith, and life are greater than we give them credit for. Please tell me what Joni and Doug did to one another, or was it some other kind of healing? Many people are still confused and hurt by the arguments surrounding their relationship, viewed by some as a melancholy tale of love, by others as evidence that the most admirable among us are fallible. One thing is certain, though: the names Joni Lamb and Doug Weiss will forever be associated with a tale that prompts contemplation of honesty, faith, and the choices we face in the face of adversity. Joni informed her that I was to stay in the role that God had called me to and not leave. I won't reveal our current location because we don't feel secure at home. As of this afternoon, all of the evidence has been given to multiple national reporters, according to her. Julie Roys has been given all of it and is writing a story that will be out soon. They should focus on stories that are about to make headlines. We had no idea this would be our life, said the woman. The loss of Marcus Lamb's beloved wife Joni in 2021 was the cruelest thing that could have happened to her. For months and months, we begged God to take a different path, but in the end, we have to obey. What if he then says, you know what? You have to speak up, the harder path. It would have been easy to leave. Faith and family are often intertwined in this world. Grief, desire, and uncontrolled emotions can sometimes destroy even the strongest marriages. Marcus was more than just a husband to Joni. He was a lifelong companion and co-founder of Daystar Television Network. Together, they built a powerful Christian network and reached millions of people with their message of hope and faith. When Marcus passed away, Joni had no idea what to expect from life without him. It made her question her purpose in the world and her role as a Christian media star. Many were taken aback when Joni, still grieving, decided to tie the knot again, this time with Doug Weiss, a well-known marriage counselor who had recently been divorced. The story couldn't be ignored due to the widespread condemnation and criticism that Marcus's death had prompted. Was this a genuine bond, or were decisions made in the heat of grief rather than with good judgment? The marriage of Joni and Doug caused quite a stir when rumors began to circulate about their relationship. Some claimed that Doug had been seeing Joni before Marcus died, citing their shared ministry and close work ties. Rumors made people suspicious, but the real storm came when Doug's own troubled marriage surfaced. Many found it strange that he divorced his wife Lisa just 2 months after Marcus died. Doug appeared to be moving on too soon after his divorce from Lisa. If that's so, why didn't he wait to make amends with Lisa before starting a family with Joni? Christians were still grieving over the Lamb family had a reputation for strong principles, religious fervor, and years of united service. But now they were facing an uncertain future. Marcus's death had a profound impact on Joni's life and Daystar's trajectory. She couldn't even begin to fathom the loss. As onlookers watched, Joni appeared to focus on Doug Weiss, a man whose own troubles stemmed from the abrupt end of his marriage. Weiss had been a prominent figure in Christian marriage therapy for quite some time. His books, seminars, and marriage tips were held in high regard, and his ministry had assisted countless couples struggling with marital issues. However, despite his profession, his personal life was far from stable. Doug had publicly spoken about the significance of standing up for one's relationship and the sanctity of marriage. However, his own marital dissolution cast doubt on the veracity of his counsel. At the same time that Doug was divorcing Lisa, Marcus had passed away 2 months prior. This raised suspicions. Was Doug's decision to wed Joni Lamb genuinely intended to aid in his healing, or was it a means for him to numb the emotional pain of his failed marriage? What kind of person could be in this predicament, especially considering his calling as a marriage advocate? Doubts about his motives and honesty led to further inquiries. The fact that Doug and Lisa's marriage had ended after more than 30 years together was a red flag. They had built. Their marriage appeared strong to the outside world, but there was a lot of infidelity going on behind the scenes. Doug and Lisa had a rocky relationship for a long time. In the months leading up to their divorce, Doug began to accuse Lisa of abusing him. This shocked their longtime friends and family because Doug had always said that Lisa was a wonderful wife and mother. The accusation came at an odd time, and many people didn't believe him. They thought he was trying to justify ending the marriage by making up reasons to stay. When Doug's divorce became public, it cast doubt on his abilities as a marriage counselor. After all, he couldn't keep his own standards of marital perfection. Just a few months after their divorce, Doug began dating Joni Lamb. This is when things started to go wrong. Joni was still grieving Marcus's death, but she seemed to have rushed into a relationship without giving herself enough time to heal. Was Doug taking advantage of her weakness? Were they truly in love, or were they simply seeking solace in each other's company after losing someone? As their friendship blossomed and eventually they were engaged, many were surprised that they were engaged so soon after Marcus's death. After being married to Marcus for so long, how could she begin seeing someone else so suddenly? Doug had recently gone through a divorce and was getting married again. Many people were critical of the couple, claiming that Joni and Doug had moved forward without considering their future together. While Joni's brief romance with Doug helped her cope with her grief, those who knew her and Marcus well were worried about this abrupt change in her life. Some wondered if Joni was seeking a father figure for her children, or if she was simply drawn to Doug because he had been there for her when she needed him. Everyone assumed that Joni's decision to marry Doug was impulsive and ill-considered, regardless of her motivations. Everyone in the Christian community, including the Lambs, had doubts regarding Joni and Doug's marriage.